Welcome to the highlights of day 3 of this third and final test between the Windies and England. The action taking place from Grossi Lane in St. Lucia. A cricket surface at the Darren Sammy Stadium that had a generous spread of grass which allowed bowlers to stay in the contest for very, very long periods, offering lateral movement. And coming into this third day's play, England were in a solid position, ahead by 142 runs, 19 without loss in their second innings after dismissing the Windies for 154. In the commentary box were Darren Ganga and Nasser Hussain.
For the first time in the series, England find themselves on top with a healthy lead of 142 and all 10 wickets left in their second innings. All eyes on England's top 3 as well. It's an area that's been a big concern over the last few years. A great opportunity for Jennings and Burns and Denley to try and cement a place for the summer ahead in England. And all eyes on the Windies and their bowling and their skipper. Throughout this series they've been disciplined, shown a lot of professionalism. Can they do that when they're behind in the game? Keemo Paul it will be, bowling from that pavilion end. He's been excellent in this test match, mainly from that end. Very impressive the way he's come in.
Good to go.
4 slips. Darren Bravo hasn't taken the field again because of his injury yesterday. First ball of day 3. And gone. Straight away. A leg stump half volley has been clipped straight to square leg.
We spoke about day 2 being eventful. Guess what? At the start of day 3, another event happens. That's a wicket for the West Indies. Keemo Paul, his first delivery, clipped straight into the hands of the fielder in front of square. An immediate success for the West Indies. Just as he did with his first ball in the first innings, he gets a wicket. That of Rory Burns, gone for 10, doesn't add to his overnight score. It's 19 for 1.
What a start for the West Indies on day 3. Keemo Paul with nothing more than a loosener. He's picked up a wicket with the first ball of the day, brings England's number 3 to the crease. Denley just starting his test career. 4 slips waiting for that outside edge. And he's away straight away. Outfield a little bit quicker today. That would not have gone to the boundary on the first 2 days. It reaches there today.
A little bit of away movement for Keemo Paul. Joe Denley gets a fair amount of bat on this one. No risk in that shot. Finds the gap and opens his account.
Yeah, lovely shot. Lovely shot. It was there to be driven. I don't think he'll go for 4. Oh, he's just held up there. Someone's pulled up. Keemo Paul now has just pulled up. It shouldn't have gone for 4. Keemo Paul got 3/4 of the way to the boundary and he's gone. I think it's the thigh. Talking about fitness of fast bowlers, we have one with a hamstring bowling and one who's down and out. Well, that is not good to see at all.
Unfortunate scenes for the West Indies. Young Keemo Paul, arguably one of the fittest members of this West Indies team, brought into the side for this test match. Let's have a look at how he goes. Just there, just pulls up, doesn't even attempt to stop the ball from going into the boundary.
Yeah, gone. That's him for the day, that's him for the test. You're not coming back from that. Oh, edged and dropped. That is a regulation chance. Hetmeyer at third slip. And that is as easy as you like. It really is. It lobbed at him. And Shannon Gabriel is not amused. What a dolly.
West Indies imploding here. Injury to Kimo Paul. And then chance presented. Hetmeyer couldn't hold on. As simple as you would get in the slip cordon. Good catchable height. Not a lot of pace on this one. And down she goes.
Slashed hard and over gully. That's not a bad option. If it's wide, throw the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah, it's a horizontal bat shot as well. So that's a better option than playing the back foot punch, as we've seen with some of the players. Those shots would have led to their downfall, as in the case of Shea Hope, Roston Chase. But Joe Denley goes for that cut shot and commits it, more importantly.
Punched, and that's a lovely shot. It was in the air for a while, but that is the shot of the morning.
Squirts it away. He does look vulnerable, very vulnerable on the drive, Keaton Jennings. He picks up 4. It's not where he wanted it to go. He's trying to drive that straight. The ball flew away off a thick outside edge past gully. Such a long way from the ball.
Yeah, this is a good delivery to Keaton Jennings. Would easily have gone to slip. Just getting enough bat on it.
Driven on the up by Denley. As Ari Joseph has taken up residence at the far end instead of Kemar Roach. One assumes Roach will now replace Gabriel from the commentary box end.
No worries there.
And Denley drives firmly on the up. There is a fielder out in the deep. Roston Chase, I think it is. You want to be careful diving on this outfield with its sandy base.
Had to reach for it, but just enough pace in this wicket for it to come onto the bat. And he's been looking to be positive and aggressive, Joe Denley. Picks himself up another boundary.
Denley's doing what I think Bairstow should do to somebody like Kemar Roach, and that's get right across to off stump and play with the swing. And look to work that swinging ball to the leg side. Missed it, but I think the theory is right. What Bairstow is trying to do is play big booming drives through mid-off and extra cover, and you're against the angle of the swing.
Beautiful delivery. Well, this movement that you see every now and again is off the dents. I was out there just looking at the pitch this morning, and it started with a little bit of dampness, and so the ball pounding into the top surface will just dent it, and then the roller is insignificant really. It's never going to squeeze these dents out.
Oh, how's that got him? Somehow he has dragged it back onto his stumps, off bat or boot or pad. You got no luck, it just goes that way for you. You've been battling so hard. What a bizarre way to get out.
Well, he might be thinking it doesn't rain, it just pours down all the time. Philosophical shake of the head and, well, not a smile, a bit of a grimace. I'll just get this down the leg side. It flicks his trousers and he drags it back into the stumps. Just about enough power to knock the bail off. And he'll be thinking there ain't no justice. Jennings, 23, 73 for 2.
England's captain, as is his wont, is batting at number 4. 2 has struggled for a bit of form and rhythm in this series. His average is now dipped below 50, dipped below 49. Keaton Jennings is quite a calm individual. I don't think he'll be trashing the dressing room as we speak, but he'd be right to feel extremely unfortunate. Flap of the trouser just under his thigh pad, somehow dragging that ball back onto the stumps. And it's another wicket for Alzari Joseph with the first ball of the spell, a loosener. Looks delighted, doesn't he? 2 slips and 2 gullies for England's captain.
Denley has gone along at quite a productive rate. His strike rate is in the 70s, now close to 80. He's put away the bad ball quite beautifully.
Yeah, off front foot and back. He's driven nicely down the ground, and when they have erred and been a little bit short, he's got the cross bat shot out well. Great opportunity for him. West Indies a bowler down at least. Pitch playing pretty well. Outfield slightly quicker. Time to cash in, Joe. Both of them, actually. Skipper at the other end, Joe Root, would love a score.
Wait. No.
Yeah, and it tests you mentally as well, and that's the battle for Joe Root. He's had a very quiet time of late. People look at that in a negative way. I actually look at it in a positive way with Root. The first period, maybe there was one Ashes tour where he wasn't scoring 50 after 50s.
Bowling, Rossi.
Yeah, Root was very disappointed with his shot that he played in Barbados. A couple of balls ago, didn't open the face as much. Played it a little bit more in front of square. There was a dismissal in Barbados. Pulled away, and that will go for 4. Beautifully played. Denley moves nicely. Sorry, correction, it's Joe Root. That will do his confidence some good.
Get a new commentator in the box, please. New co-commentator with these questions.
You're not happy with my question?
I'm totally unhappy.
That's all you ever get from Root. I think the spirit this series has been played in has been excellent as well. There has been hostility, there has been the odd word, but just the right side of the line. We've seen Gabriel with Stokes, and Stokes stare back. We've now seen Gabriel with Root, and Root smile back. Cricket has been excellent, but it's been played in the right spirit as well, as it should. Hundred comes up for England. 101 for 2, lead 2-2-4. Plenty of time remaining in the game. They'll be busy and will continue to build. England fans have not had a lot to cheer about in this series. They're enjoying this one. Which that is not. Joe Root very quick on the cut. Can't keep a good man down for long. Joe Root is a very fine player, and he's trying to find some form here.
The guys have been striving for those wicket deliveries and been short or full this morning. Shannon Gabriel, driven by Denley early up, and now too short to Root.
Oh, none, Rossi, ball, they go 6 lads. Driver in lunch.
And a challenging session comes to an end, one in which England, despite losing their opening batsmen, will feel pretty pleased about scoring those 89 runs at a good clip on a pitch that is still offering enough for bowlers like Shannon Gabriel, Joseph, Roach, in the absence of Keemo Paul.
Yeah, England will be very pleased with that session. It started with a backward step in the first delivery when Rory Burns clipped one to square leg, but Joe Denley in particular, he will be wanting to take a part in an Ashes series, and he's doing pretty well to make sure that his name's on that team sheet. A word with Brathwaite, there was a word with Root as well about a few exchanges between batsman and bowler, but nothing wrong at all with that. Hard game played tough and fair between two sides who are giving it their all. Windies were a little bit sloppy in the field, and Shannon is now smiling. He's got a smile on his face. All's well that ends well.
Another intriguing session saw England move to 108 for 2 at the luncheon interval. The 2 wickets lost. Burns off the first ball, bowled by Keemo Paul, and Jennings unfortunately bowled off his thigh pad for 23. But Joe Denley on 45, his highest score early in his Test match career, was there with Joe Root, who was on 80. The wicket takers for the Windies were Keemo Paul and Alzari Joseph. 1 for 21 for Joseph, 1 for 11 for Keemo Paul, who may take no further part in the Test match because of that thigh injury. So England ahead by 231 runs with 8 wickets left in their second innings.
Chipped in the air wide of Roston Chase, who will give chase from mid-on. Can't bring it in. It was well timed by Denley, who moves to 49. Not a long way away from off stump. I mentioned before that at least when Denley's leaving the ball from Roach, he gets right across and covers all his stumps with a first and second line of defence. Not to say that you can't be given LBW if you don't play a shot, but at least he's covering his stumps.
Much more watchful. You'll be thinking about that landmark of 50.
Firmly driven by Joe Denley. A very pleasant way to go through to your first Test match half-century. He's hit some eye-catching shots today, particularly through the offside. Drives and cuts to the fence. That was his 8th boundary. And an impressive first Test match 50 for Joe Denley.
He repays the fate of the selectors and the England captain himself, being brought into this England side in the second Test match. Took him a couple innings to get into stride. He looks like a complete number 3.
Edged, but all along the ground, only 2 slips in place and a gap between the second of them and gully. It's another boundary, Denley's 9. 50 partnership between Denley and the England captain to back up 50 between Jennings and Denley. Another quick ball from Gabriel, 150 clicks.
Unlucky for Shannon Gabriel, another delivery, finding the outside edge, going all along the ground in the gap.
Flashed away and over first slip. Won't improve Gabriel's mood, but the correct thing for Denley to do if you're going to flash out there on this pitch, go hard.
Yes, he hasn't really hesitated at going for anything that's given him a bit of width. Picks himself up another boundary, and I think Tibbs is taking himself another step closer to maybe just making that number 3 position his. It's up for grabs. That has been made pretty clear.
Again, he flashes hard outside off stump. No interest in keeping the ball down. Nearly takes out the photographer.
Just hoping for some variability in bounce. He's been keeping that line pretty steadily, but this one maybe just a bit too short. Almost takes out our Italian cameraman.
Jeffrey Dujon has called it, ladies and gentlemen. That is knowledge. 147 for 3, and it is Denley that has gone for 69.
Yes, he'd been willing to sacrifice a boundary or 2, but Shannon Gabriel persisting. Sooner or later, one would bounce too much or not enough, and an edge would be found. There's the bottom edge. Simple catch to Dowrich, and a good innings comes to an end. Safe as houses at the bowler's end, and Joe Denley goes for 69, an innings that will do a lot for him. England 147 for 3.
Put in a good stint for his side. It brings Joss Butler to the crease. You know your cricketing onions, Jeffrey Dujon.
Just a little bottom edge to the keeper. Shannon Gabriel just thinking outside the box. There you go. There's the gap for the cut. Let's see if one will bounce or not bounce.
A different feel for Butler. 3 slips and a gully. No man on the offside fence. turn and bounce. Certainly bounce for Chase.
Things happening, G. Things happening, G.
The turn is unusual, but the bounce isn't. And that would have, I reckon, struck him just outside off stump and would have been a bit high.
Not his best timing, but it might bring him 4. The toe end.
Good ball to get early in the innings. A nice full toss that you can just slash away.
Oh, flash pass first slip. Shea Hope is in there. Went very, very quickly, and that was a chance.
That was a genuine edge. How close to him did it go? It seemed to have been past him and a bit wide of him. Very quickly. A bit of extra bounce.
Nice shot. Picked the length quite beautifully, did Joss Butler. Wasn't all that short.
Swivel shot. From a quicker bowler, that's neither one thing nor the other. It's not the short ball that rears up at the chest. Just turn round and find that mid-wicket area.
Yes.
Lead is now 300 for England.
Well, 46 overs are left in the day. In England, surely their game plan will be to bat the whole of today. They've got 7 wickets left.
Nice touch from Joss Butler, will bring him a boundary. Light on his feet and the lateness and adeptness of the stroke.
Always a pleasing shot is this. The batsman Joss Butler sees the length, rocks back, wait, and you almost pinch that from the wicket-keeper's gloves. Hit it as late as you can. Keeper thinks it's his.
.50 partnership between these two. Root and Butler, captain, vice-captain. It's the third half-century partnership of the innings. Denley and Jennings, and then Denley and Root, now Root and Butler. A consistent performance from England in this game. Careful. Oh, he's given him. Can you believe it? Innocuous delivery. Butler reviews straight away.
Fair delivery, front on spin, please. Okay, can we just go to ultra edge, please? There looks like there's a gap. All going over the top. Okay, thank you. I'm satisfied with that. I'll go back to Rod. Rod, there's a clear gap between bat and ball. I recommend you change your decision to not out. You're on screen.
catch it. Time for tea.
Time for tea, says umpire Dharmasena, and England will go to tea in a very strong position, leading by 330, 207 for 3 in their second innings. And for batsmen who've been under so much pressure throughout this series, this is a very different situation. All old, West Indies a bowler down, spinners on, time to make hay. Good session again for England.
Exactly, for that reason, for the hard times they've been through on this tour, not the match situation, but what's gone on this tour already. Butler and Root and Stokes and Bairstow must cash in and go big. Excellent session for England.
It's been a really good session for England as they head to tea on 207 for 3. Joe Denley got his first half century of his test match career, 69, with a good tempo to it as well. And since he departed, Root and Butler came together, 45 to Joe Root, 37 to Jos Butler. The Windies one down from the point of view that Kimo Paul suffered a thigh injury and didn't take the field after lunch. The wicket to fall went to Shannon Gabriel, but he's been expensive in this third day's play, 1 for 73. So at tea, the match stood like this: 330 runs ahead England, and still 7 wickets left in their second innings. Runs for Joe Root. If it goes for 4, and it does, it will be a half century for the English captain, his 42nd in test matches and his first for 8 innings, and he will welcome this.
The manner in which it was brought up is reflective of the type of innings that he's played. He's tried to mitigate all risks in his batting. He's not been in the best of form throughout this series, and as any good quality player would do, the application, the concentration, it's been excellent from him. Very important. Nice boundary. From it to 18 for 3. 222, I beg your pardon.
.50 for Jos Butler. First time he's scored 50 in both innings of a test match. 248 for 3.
Yeah, and he'll feel he earned the right.
It's that bat or pad, they're both racing away down to fine leg. Bat.
Yeah, certainly a bit more pace and bounce here from Kemar Roach.
He's only into his 13th over, so he's not been overworked wide of the crease. Is there a bit of bat on that, or is it just thigh? Given runs. Oh, bowled him. New ball does it again.
To Jaffa. Yeah, Butler looks down at the pitch, looks at Kemar Roach and just nods. It's a Jaffa. It turned Butler round. Wide of the crease, Butler's looking to work it to the onside. Straightened up and just clipped off stump. I think the umpires want to check that front foot. And he's absolutely fine. So Butler will have to continue on his way, beaten by a terrific delivery from Kemar Roach. That is a beautiful delivery. It's the angle that has done for Butler, wide of the crease, and therefore turning him around and opening him up. Excellent Kemar Roach to end an excellent innings from Jos Butler. 56 for him, England 254 for 4.
Off stump, yeah.
Well, England are 4 down. And terrific delivery to dismiss Joss Butler from Kemar Roach. Brings Ben Stokes to the crease. England lead by 3-7-7. It's the new ball. This is a beauty. He ain't playing that.
People may look at that and say, well, it pitched off stump.
Yes, sir.
Clipped away off the hip. That's lovely timing from Root. Outfield's still slow, but it nearly gets there with just a little clip. In fact, it might have got there. We're going to have a little check. And they're going to have to now. I think they've run all 4 there.
A lot of confusion down on the boundary there. He'd gotten there, didn't have to slide. He's in contact as he touched the ball. I'm not too sure, may have been in contact that first time. Has he touched it there? No, hasn't.
I don't know why they're checking, really. They've run 4. Root's back on strike. It's 4. Wide and driven hard. There is a sweeper out there. Yeah, just gets it, and the lead pops up over 400. 402 now, England in front.
Through there and square of the wicket, 2 areas where Ben Stokes tends to be quite strong. Loves width.
Oh, fine. That's gone fine. And that will go away for 4.
Just a bit erratic.
Sharp. Straight down the ground. Exactly what Nasser Hussain was saying about Ben Stokes and his ability to play the faster bowlers. He was very keen and eager to jump onto the front foot.
And a real sense of positivity in some of the stroke play as well between these two in this partnership of 35.
What a pleasing stroke that is from Joe Root. He moves to 95 with a classic drive.
We've talked a lot throughout this match about the difficulty of driving the ball. I just wonder, you know, today if driving has been slightly more easier than hitting the ball square of the wicket with horizontal bats, because there's been some variable bounce. Denley has driven the ball beautifully. Stokes and Root down the ground today. That's on the up.
The 300 has been brought up with that couple from Ben Stokes, 301 for 4, and the lead is 424. Lovely full toss is punched down the ground by England's captain. 16th Test match 100. Cries of root echo around the stadium, and after the results that the team have had in this Test series and his lack of returns with the bat so far, that will mean a lot. Fifth 100 as captain for Joe Root, and his third against the West Indies. And if you wanted to get a delivery when you're on 98, this is right up there.
Flight. Very carefully played. That's all for today. 325 for 4. Fabulous century, and he's worked really hard there for Joe Root. 111. 209 deliveries, 8 fours. He's found a good partner in Ben Stokes. He's just on 29, but the partnership is 71. West Indies will go in for the customary stretch at the end. They stretch on the outfield. Very important. Time to reflect, but a very, very good day for England.
Nice gesture by the West Indies players, shaking the hands of the England captain, acknowledging the class that they've seen. He's batted for a fair part of this day 3, and he remains unbeaten. His 16th Test match century, 5th as captain for England.
A magnificent day's batting for England. At the close of play, they had achieved a landmark total of 325 for 4 with Joe Root bringing up his 16th Test match 100, 111 not out. Joss Buttler gave good support with 56, his second half century of the game. Joe Denley, in only his second Test match, got 69 very impressive runs. The West Indies toiled, they labored. They were short of one bowler for most of the day when Kemo Paul went off the field with a strained thigh, a damaged thigh in the first session, a wicket to Roach, who was impressive with the second new ball at times. Gabriel toiled manfully, 21 overs, 1 for 87, and a wicket to Alzari Joseph as well. So England ahead by 448 runs, and they still have 6 wickets left in their second innings. Hope you've enjoyed all the action and the highlights and the sunshine at St. Lucia. Bye for now.